Good morning to ninth students. I welcome you all to English online class. In this class, we are going to discuss the first unit poem in the title Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. This is a very natural poem. This poem is written by American poet Robert Frost. He is very famous for writing natural poems. One of such poems is this. How many of you have traveled to naturally beautiful places like Ooty, Kodaikanal, and the natural state Kerala, etc.? What is special in these places to visit? Obviously, it is the natural beauty and the natural sceneries we find there. Whenever we find nature around us, it gives pleasure to our heart. So we shall enter this poem. Let me tell you the theme of this poem shortly. The poet is going on his horse to some place from his house. On the way, he has to pass by a naturally beautiful forest. It is fully filled with white snow. The poet who is traveling through the forest is attracted by the forest beauty. This is described in this poem, stopping by woods on a snowy evening in a naturalistic way. Now, let me explain the poem stanza by stanza. Whose suits these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. First of all, the poet says that the woods means forest. The forest in which he is passing through belongs to a person who is living in the village. The poet thinks that the owner of the forest will not notice the poet stopping in his forest. The poet is stopping in the forest to have a look at the nature of the forest because the forest is fully filled with white snow. The poet feels very free to stay in that place because he is very sure that the owner is not there. He is living in the village which is far away from the forest. In the second stanza, my little horse must think it cure to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and the frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. In the second stanza, the poet tells about his horse. The poet is traveling on his horse towards his target. He says that his horse thinks it very differently to stop in a new place because the poet had never stopped his horse and taken rest in such a forest. Usually, he would stop to take rest in a farmhouse and also to feed the tired horse. But this time, he is stopping between the forest and the lake. There was a small lake which was fully frozen with snow. Therefore, the horse is thinking very differently. And there was a lake, I told. The lake is fully filled with ice. The lake water, due to extreme cold, has fully frozen into ice. Let us come to third stanza. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. In the third stanza, the poet gives human qualities to the horse. Here, personification is used. It is a figure of speech. Personification means comparing non living things or animals with human beings. Let me repeat the first line. He gives his harness bells a shake. Harness means the leather belt which is used to control the horse. So the horse is shaking his head. There was a bell attached to the neck of the horse and makes the bell ring. So the poet thinks that the horse is giving a warning to the poet if there is some mistake happened. In this way, he is comparing the horse to the human being. The only other sound, the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The poet tells about the atmosphere of the forest. The forest was deadly silent. There was no other sound except the sound of gentle wind and then downy flake. Downy flake means soft ice, snow. In the forest, ice cubes were falling like rainfall. The snow which is falling was very soft. Therefore, it makes a gentle sound, and the other sound was the blowing of the gentle wind. Except these two sounds, the place was very silent. Let us come to the last stanza. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep. Once again, the woods means forest, the trees, dense trees in the forest. The poet says that the trees which are very thick in the forest are very lovely to watch, and also they are very thick and dense and deep. Deep means fully green in color. It was a thick forest. It is a treat to watch for nature lovers. But I have promises to keep. Promises means duties. The poet is very much willing to stand there for a long time and enjoy the nature of the forest. But what a pity, the poet has many works to do. That's why he is going on his horse towards his destination. And miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. These two lines are repeated. It is also a figure of speech called a repetition. And miles to go before I sleep means the poet has to do lot of works before taking rest. In one side of the poet's mind, he loves to enjoy the nature's beauty. He wants to spend time looking at the beauty of the snowfall and dense forest. But on the other side, he has so many duties, worldly duties, which he should do within the correct time. Therefore, he cannot stay there for a long time. He has to go towards his target in order to finish his work. This is the end of the poem. My dear students, this poem says that always there is a difference between human society and nature. Nature is always welcoming human beings to enjoy it, but we human beings are always busy with our duties which our society gives. So, whenever we have time, we should spend time with nature. I hope you enjoyed listening to the poem. Thank you.